One night, a little girl stood near the door, her small hands pressed against the wood, waiting. "Mom, when will Dad return?" But that night he never returned, neither on the next day nor the next year. He abandoned them, stepping out into the darkness and leaving them in an agony that would shape their lives forever. Her name was Anaya, just 6 years old. Her mother never shed a tear in front of her, presenting a mask of strength. But every night when she thought Anaya was asleep, she would cry alone, her shoulders shaking in the silent gloom. There were days of gnawing starvation, where a single piece of bread was a feast. Nights where the darkness was broken only by a single flickering candle, because electricity was a luxury they couldn't afford. But her mother, a silent warrior, persevered. She cleaned the homes of the wealthy, her hands raw from scrubbing floors. She washed mountains of dishes, her back aching, doing whatever it took to keep that small flame of hope alive. One day, Anaya looked up from a worn storybook and asked, "Mom, can I be a doctor someday?" Her mother's face broke into a beautiful smile, though her eyes struggled not to cry. "My love," she whispered, "you can be anything you wish." And in that moment, a dream sprouted amid the harshest of soils. Life was a battlefield. At school, kids with polished shoes mocked her tattered dress. But Anaya had an asset they lacked, a burning purpose. Every night, she would gently hold her mother's exhausted, calloused hands and make a vow. "One day, I'll alter everything." While the world slept, she studied, devouring textbooks under the dimmest of lights. Years elapsed, marked by countless failures and rivers of tears, but she never surrendered. Then the day came. Anaya, in a crisp white coat, became a doctor. Her mother cried, but for the first time in decades, her tears were not of sorrow. They were of pure, unadulterated joy. One afternoon, a man was brought into her ward. He was a ghost from a life she had buried. Weak, broken, his face a roadmap of regret. It was him, her father. The man who had abandoned them now stood before her, helpless, trembling, his voice a ragged whisper. "I'm sorry. I've made a grave error. Please forgive me." Anaya gazed from the man who gave her life to the woman who taught her how to live it. Her voice was steadfast, confident. "As a doctor, I shall heal you." She paused. "But as your daughter, I no longer recognize you." She clutched her mother's hand and they walked away, leaving the past behind. They did not seek vengeance, they sought dignity. The man who abandoned them dwelt in remorse, and the mother and daughter, they dwelt in tranquility, not because life was fair, but because they refused to surrender.